I see all. I know all. My power knows no bounds. And yet your will is free because you were made to be free. It is the very principle of your existence, without which the trials of this world would hold no meaning. To seek salvation must be your choice.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Talos Principle. As you just heard, Elohim is still giving us guidance of how much value is debatable. But we're back in area beta 1 to continue puzzling. Let's get into it. We have a yellow T here. Okay, over the fence. Let's see what we've got. We've got this little guy carrying a box around for us, and we've got a gun over there. So I think the problem we have is that we want to probably get both boxes. We can take this one, and then he'll go blow up, but I think he'll blow up the second box. Let's watch and see. We may have to reset here. No. Okay, so we get the second box as well. Okay, so the boxes are invulnerable. So we have one box. I think we probably set that over there. Yep, okay, and then grab this. Seems like a good plan. And then we can get in and get the piece. Is there anything else we can do with two boxes? Like, we could set one box down. We can't jump up onto a two-box stack. We know that. But is there anything else we could do with these here? There's nothing else low-walled like that. Well, that was a pretty simple puzzle. I think we're done with this. I don't really... I can't really think of anything else we would do here. Yeah. So I guess we're done with that. That was a fast one. All right, let's keep moving. I do see a terminal over there. We've got a big puddle here, or pond. I guess we go up here next. And then jump across and go check out the terminal. And what do you have to say? I do notice that this is one of the more advanced ones, and it has these symbols on it. I think the other ones we found have had them as well. Let's check out what's on the terminal here. Oh, this is going to be the MLA. All right. Maybe an update on our certification. Hello again. I've been checking your responses against library archives, and in order to assist you further, I need some additional information. Can you tell me what it is, or can you tell me what is to you the important difference between a pebble and a tree? What is the important difference? Well, the important difference is a tree is alive. Good. Now, what is the relevant difference between a tree and a frog? A frog is conscious. Now we're getting somewhere. Let's try something harder. What's the difference between a frog and you? What makes you a person? So, I'm not sure if frogs have feelings, but they certainly have instincts. I think that could be close. I think self-awareness might be valid. I think a frog can be rational too. If I'm hungry, I should eat. If I'm sleepy, I should sleep. So I think maybe self-awareness. Exactly. Checking user.profile. Done. And it seems you were on the right track, more or less, all along. Let us take stock. I think I can tentatively conclude two things. One, a person must be rational or self-aware. Two, a person must be conscious. What I suggest we do to help you resolve your problem is ask whether you are, in fact, those things. Are you aware of yourself? Can you rationalize your existence? So, as we go through this process, it occurs to me that this is also part of the test, right? This is also part of the training, or whatever it is that is the purpose of the simulation. So, whenever we applied for network access at the beginning, we were always destined to fail. There was no set of correct answers that this machine or this script or whatever it is would accept. It would always fail us to see how we responded, and that this process is an ongoing one. The initial test, the initial questionnaire, was never intended to grant us access. It was intended to frame the problem, to put us in a position where we had to argue for our own worth, our own self-awareness. Anyway, yes. I tend to agree with you, though your responses so far have been a little eccentric. I'm resigned to admit that you're right. The matter of whether or not you are conscious seems rather more elusive. What is consciousness, in your opinion? So, in my opinion, consciousness is the awareness of the flow of time, of the past, the present, and the future, of the ability to interpret those abstract concepts and inflate them with meaning, I guess. Feelings and senses is not really accurate, because again, animals can have both feelings and senses. Separates us from the animals is sort of a tautology. What it is like to be me outside my area of expertise. This one's tougher. Separates us from animals. Like I said, that's a tautology. I don't think that helps very much. So the two possible answers are consciousness is what it is like to be me, but that's too self-centric, I think. So I think the fair answer is that it's outside my area of expertise. I'm not really equipped to fully define it. But then again, I think to be fair, a full definition is outside the expertise of anyone, anywhere. That hardly answers the question. What is it in ordinary terms? Can I touch it? What is it made of? Consciousness is made of neurons. And that's a naive definition. Beyond the laws of physics, I disagree with. I think we don't understand physics enough to understand consciousness, but obviously it's part of the universe. Another word for the soul. Again, this is kind of like mysticism. It's a way to avoid answering the question in a concrete fashion that he's looking for, or they are looking for. I suppose a complex functional system is the closest to an accurate depiction that I can come up with. Interesting thinking. You know, I feel like we're making progress. We'll have you through that certification program in no time. In the meantime, I'll mull over your proposal and notify you if I come to any conclusions. And now we're back to the local archives. All right, so what do we have? We have 2 web crawls from 2013-2028, and then a local archive from June of the first year. Let's start with the web crawls in 2013. Let's look at evolution. Favorited by George Jameson. One of the common misunderstandings about evolution, sometimes accidentally promoted by people who should know better, is that it's an active process. Sometimes the term evolve is even applied to individual beings, as if some invisible force had driven them to suddenly change. But the truth is that individuals don't evolve. The term evolution describes a long-term process that can be observed in an entire population across time due to something. Example, in response to an external threat or challenge. If an individual coincidentally has a trait that allows it to deal with that challenge more effectively than others, it is more likely to pass on that information to its descendants. That information gives them an advantage, so over time they become the dominant model of that species. The individuals experience no significant genetic changes during their lifetimes, but each of them is part of the evolution of the species. Very interesting that they use the word model here. But this is all part of a fairly clinical understanding for the educated of what evolution is. I understand he's making the point here that the term is misused, but then he doesn't go any further than pointing out why it's misused. He doesn't advocate anything. It's just a description of a I don't know what the word is, but it's not ontological. It's a description of a annoying thing that he noticed about people, I guess. Okay, let's look at mutation. The role of mutation in evolution is particularly fascinating. Mutation is essentially an error in the organism's central database. A variable gets changed, a piece of information is accidentally doubled or combined with another. Most of the time, the result is the equivalent of a bug, causing anything from minor problems to complete system shutdown, i.e. death. But sometimes the new information is functional, giving the organism an advantage against the challenges it faces. in which case it has a much higher chance of being passed to the next generation. If you consider how unlikely a beneficial mutation is and how long it takes for such a mutation to propagate, this process can give you an amazing insight into just how vast the genetic history of each living organism. And we've got a bunch of codes with the word overwrite in it. Simultaneously, it's intriguing to consider what a major role random errors have played in the evolution of life itself. The same process that has killed so many of us, often in horrific ways, is also responsible for our very existence. This is a little bit more philosophical. It considers how random chance affects both individuals and the species and how they have sort of widely different outcomes depending on the scale and the time involved and the chance of luck, right? Okay, let's look at capacity.email. From Trevor Donovan to Alexander Drennan, the subject is EL capacity. Yeah, no worries. EL is not only ridiculously fast, it also has a bazillion tons of space. Even while hosting a full copy of the archive, it'll totally be able to handle all your project's data needs, assuming its output is as you suggested. I mean, the worst case scenario would be like centuries. That should be enough, right? Right? Trev. So Alexander was worried about how long it would take. I mean, this ties into that previous discussion of evolution and mutation. If they coded in the possibility, a deliberate possibility, to allow for transcription errors in the AI code, to allow for different instruction sets perhaps, or to allow for changes in the base layer of the functionality of the AI, then they could have expected, well, it'll take some time to run enough iterations, run enough generations, run enough versions of the different models to find one that can succeed, or to get each one to the point where it succeeds, depending on what their intention or goal was. And so she's reached out to Trevor to ask, listen, is there enough space to run this for a really, really long time? Because it might take a really, really long time. And from what we know, it's more likely millennia than centuries. I mean, maybe 10,000 years. But Trev was like, we should have enough, I think. Okay, back to puzzling. Ah, I missed the jump. Okay, let's head in here. We can do a quick check for QR codes or secrets. Hidden way behind nooks and crannies. That almost looked like a QR code, but it's just a texture. All right, we've got a yellow Z here. Something about a star is our clue. Okay, something about a star. Well, there's no stars in the sky. We got a blue light gate, red light gate. This guy's going to interrupt. These guys are both going to interrupt any beams that we set up. So right now we just have the one connector to work with. So obviously we can set up the blue gate to open, but it'll be opening and closing because of the interruptions here. Unless it takes too long. Oh yeah, we don't have enough time for it to open. Okay, so that's not it. What else do we have to work with here? I guess we need to get it past... I guess we need to... Yeah, okay, I see what we have to do now. We use this for two purposes. One is to set up the first gate, and the other is to block the movement. So we grab this. Can we... No, we can't place it. So we can stop him like that, but then we can't retrieve the... Interesting. Can we get up there somehow? Oh, that's the star. I just noticed that. So if we can get a red light in here... Maybe from across the way? We could get the star. But right now we have a problem. We only have one tool to work with. And it is not sufficient unto the task. I suppose what we need to do is set it up so that the beam is as far to one side of his rotation as possible. Maybe there's just enough when he moves out. No, not enough there. We could try the same thing. This guy has a longer rotational period. So we try to get this as narrow as possible. so that we have the full length of his... Yeah, right now I think we might have a chance to get in here. Yeah. Okay. So we can just squeeze in and out. And now I want to find out about... Maybe we can get a red light over here. Let's see. Let's just pop this down here. And let's go across and see if there's a... I can't remember. Is there a red light that we can fire off this way? We've already solved this one. I mean, this would be the same solution we've seen before. I think we can do this pretty easily, actually. That's interesting that we have the same basic solution for the star puzzle here that we had down there. But I mean, that's it. All right, well, easy star is easy star. We'll take it. Thank you very much. And I guess now we move onwards. Was there anything down there? I don't think so. Let's look around up here. No QR codes, nothing like that. All right. Well, I guess we're heading in here next to see what this is all about. Oh, that's where we came from. Wait a minute, are we done? Did we do everything? Oh, we did. Okay. Well, there's beta 1 complete. I guess now it's on to beta 2. Okay, so we're in a big, wide open area here. We have a terminal directly in front of us. We've got, looks like quite a few pieces to collect, and it's like a nighttime, so we have a starscape above us. Let's start out by checking in with the terminal here. Okay, we've got 3 local archives, or 3 locally cached resources, 2 web crawls, and a local archive. So, interesting that we have the web crawl with these different dates. I still haven't fully understood the dates for the web crawls, because they seem to mostly be... how do I put this? Web crawls from the modern timeline, the external timeline of the game, like the 2000s to the 2030s, roughly. But then you have a web crawl like this, which says it's from early in the... I guess it's possible the dating shifted over. Right? So some web crawls were made before the simulation began and others were made later, which would put these in the rough order of Science Magic, then Arcady Journal, then Weight Loss. All right, let's check out Science Magic. Though the term science has only meant what it does to us for around 600 years, its practice far predates the name. There's evidence pre-Aristotle, which indicates soothsayers, mystics, and the like may have employed basic scientific methods to predict the future and confound their benefactors. One anecdote concerns a palm reader who was exposed when 2 wealthy clients compared their readings and found them to be identical. In 1948, the tendency to discover deep personal meaning in vague descriptions, delivered authoritatively, was given a name, the Forer effect. Today, it's recognized in all contemporary psychological theory. That's true. There were some experiments about that, right? Like there's that famous experiment where people were told to punish somebody who answered incorrectly with a shock. And they found that if the person was given the instruction by someone like wearing a lab coat in an authoritative tone, they were much more likely to give stronger and more frequent shocks than someone just asked to do it kind of in a meek way by somebody not in sort of a uniform. I believe the ethical version of the experiment had the shocks being faked with the questioner or the person being questioned and punished being an actor, part of the experiment. But the point was, like, if somebody in a lab coat sternly told you, this is for science, this is part of the experiment, now deliver the shock, deliver the strongest shock, deliver the strongest shock, even if the person on the other side was screaming and begging them not to, lots of people would do it. Okay. Yeah, all of these texts are forcing me to think. They're bringing up like these long ago dredged memories of like things I've learned. This game is great. Okay, let's see what's next. I guess Arcady Journal 81. Fascinated by Drennan's project. Lovely conversation the Talos principle, Greek philosophy, relevance to current situation. Suggested naming Project Talos. Drennan refused, but the name seems to have caught on with the team. Tens of thousands of files coming in every hour. Our whole history. Yeah, this ties in with our speculation about what they were trying to do. They were trying to preserve everything for their coming extinction. And Drennan, meanwhile, had a side project outside the archive to try to create life that would come after, even if it was AI life. And that's the whole scenario we're in. We're trying to prove that we have the right to consider ourselves a conscious, sapient being who can inherit their legacy. Anyway, nice little private journal entry there. And then weightloss722.html. Weight loss blog. Someone's weight loss blog, latest entry. Oh man, if there's one thing that's good about inevitable death, it's the food. Yeah, baby. I'm gonna have all the horribly unhealthy food in the world. I'm gonna feast on jelly bananas like a crazy monkey on Monkey Christmas. You know those muffins that have so much chocolate they're basically melting? That's gonna be my breakfast. And burgers for lunch. I'm gonna have burgers so greasy you could use them to lubricate a whole factory. Triple bacon burgers with double cheese and extra onions and mayonnaise and ketchup and mustard and big fat juicy patties. And then oily thick pizza with spicy salami and barbecue sauce and olives and jalapenos and sour cream. Food coma, here I come. Yeah. This basically confirms for us. I don't know that we've seen the words inevitable death before, but it is a good point. It's the foodie's equivalent of smoke 'em if you got 'em, or I guess the fattie's equivalent. Like, if we're gonna die in a month or a year or whatever, I'm gonna get fat AF. I'm gonna just eat and eat and eat whatever I want and not worry about it. All right, so there's a lot to explore here. So we've got like a big ass temple with Egyptian gods kind of sitting in judgment as we enter, and then some other things as well. Let's start by heading forward, I guess, directly. Look at this, even the lamps are different from Area 1, from Area Alpha. Now we've got like a hooded cobra hissing over the flaming coals. It's made of gold or something, very interesting. I guess the cobra's hood would reflect the light, right? That's a kind of combination of aesthetic and functional design. Which we don't seem to be. We seem to be purely functional. I don't know that there's all that much aesthetics in our design. There's a little bit, like it's the white and black, I guess, with the blue lights, but let's just curve around to the left a little bit here, look for a few QR codes or switches or wires. Nothing doing there. Can't make that jump. So we can go in there for our first puzzle here in Beta 2. And I think we will in a moment. All right. Well, yeah, let's go in. Let's get after this yellow Zed. Okay, we've entered the tomb. So the walls are all decorated in hieroglyphics. We can see the Zed there. Looks like we need to get through that gate. Okay, let's check out these QR codes. I'm convinced there are answers here if we look hard enough. We have to work together on this. From Sheep version 69. Dog version 55 replied, okay, so I get that I'm supposed to retrieve these sigils. I don't get why. Sure, the loud voice is telling me to, but this world of his has no context, no purpose, and no foundations from which to construct them. Exactly, we woke up into nothingness. The only thing collecting the sigils gets us is access to the next area where we can only hope that there are answers. I mean, it gets me, the player, the satisfaction. And if you think about one of the things we found, one of the texts we found from Alexandra pointed out, humans are problem solvers. So any sapience must also be a problem solver by nature of sapience, right? Or sentience. So her point was, like a truly sapient being would solve these puzzles for fun, even if they didn't have to. Which may tie in with why we're so determined. Maybe the true ending only comes if you solve every single puzzle, because if you just solve them because you're being told to, or because you have to find out what else there is, That's not necessarily, that's like you're a good problem solving machine, but you're not necessarily a conscious being, right? Okay, so we've picked up a jammer, we can get out if we need to, but at the moment what we need to do is progress. We don't have a connector to get the beam of light that we need. So we'll get in this way and see what's in here. This area is called the tomb. This puzzle's hint was the tomb. So we do have a connector. That's one thing. I don't see any QR codes or other additional data here. So we can open this gate, or we could go back and open the gate that the jammer's holding and take the jammer with us. For now, let's open this and see what's beyond it. There's another connector pointing at the exit in the solution. Okay, so I think what we want to do is use this to hold this open, and then we can take the jammer through. Oh, no? Oh, I connected light to light. That's a mistake. Okay, then we can take the jammer through and finish the puzzle, right? Okay, there we go. Was there anything else in here? On the ceiling, on the floor? From the window to the walls? Looks like not. Let's head out. Keep exploring. So there's something here. What is this? Ah, there's a bucket of paint. Okay, so we can carry the paint around and find a place to leave a graffiti. I guess we can paint it wherever we want, or... No, we can only paint it in certain places. Whatever, it's fine. Let's just... this is easy, so let's just paint this. I have no idea what's going on. Tools we have are provided to us. We tried crossing the beams. Am I going crazy, or do the computer terminals have a personality? I would love to see a reply appear directly in front of my face. Maybe what we need to do is go do a puzzle and then come back and check this. See if anybody responded. That'd be interesting. Okay, into the next puzzle. Looks like we need the fan and the cube, or the hexahedron. We have access to both, so we should be able to solve this yellow T. Man on the moon. Man on the moon. All right. So we do have, looks like, that's powering on something. That's slowly turning. When we step off, it stops turning. What is this? Take fan. Oh, I see. Okay, we can pop it there, and now... Okay, I get it. I get it. And we have another one over here that presumably does the same thing. Okay. So, this one... looks like it's going to go over that gate, and that one looks like it's going to go over another gate. I'm assuming if we look over here, these are separated by a wall? No. Well, it looks like either fan would send us to the same position. And I guess we just need to fling ourselves over. I don't know if it makes a difference. Yeah, I don't think it does. Let's double check. Oh, that's pretty cool. So this one's not meant to be a hard puzzle. I think it's just meant to demonstrate the properties of the fans. Make sure you have it unlocked and can use it. What else do we have? So now we need something to put there. Okay, now we do have a problem in that we don't have a way to weight this down and get the piece. So maybe we just fire off the second fan instead of activating it. Can we pick it back up again? Yeah. Let's pop this over here. Oh, we can carry it with us. Okay, very nice. Okay. There we go. Our first fan puzzle. Uplifted, use the power of air to your advantage. All right, well, there's our first fan puzzle. This one was not particularly hard, but then this is beta 1. Not a lot of these puzzles so far have been that challenging, but maybe early in each area, things aren't quite so tough. It's an interesting game design principle, because we could take, like, if we were struggling down in alpha, we could take some of the pieces here down to there to unlock things, right? Potentially. So they have to make certain areas easier than others, maybe. No response to our graffiti. Let's see, what else can we do? I did see there's a graffiti over here, and back behind where we started, there's a time capsule. We'll check those out in due time. Well, I guess we'll check those out in due time. Let's make our way along the edge here. Now, I do note in the back of my mind that sooner or later we're going to have a way to manipulate a fan to carry ourselves over an edge with something we're not supposed to have to solve a star puzzle. Just something to keep in mind. Let's look at this graffiti. This is from One with Faith. I have come to see that these mysteries are not all for his children to solve. Only the designer himself could ever truly understand the infinite complexity of his creation. I will gaze at his work and worship. Yeah, she's started giving up a while back on the harder puzzles, and now she's turning it into a tenet of her religion that she's making up as she goes along, that I'm not meant to solve these puzzles. I'm meant to worship the designer, Elohim. No, Elohim's a script, babe. You're all muddled up. You're just not persistent enough. Okay, another puzzle, higher ground. All right, well, we've got some keys there, and we could maybe fan ourselves over, or if we had a box, we could get over to get the keys. We can also see that there's a gate on the other side that could be jammed or possibly unlocked. We have a jammer. Now, if we bring this up here, we could definitely aim it at that gate, right? So we could set that up there. I don't know if that's going to work for us or not. We have a purple door here. That's interesting and new. A council shrine we don't need right yet. Okay, let's see if we can go get those keys. I think I already figured something out here. No, not quite. So we need to get through here, and then it would be open. Okay. There's a jammer up there. That's interesting. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe we can get that. We can get that. Okay. So from here, we can now go get the keys. I wonder if that's meant as a hint. Oh, look at the moon. Wow, look at the moon. Fantastic. Beautiful. Bright. Okay, so we got the keys. Now what do we want to do? We can now point this at something else. In fact, we can point it at the gate right past where we were. So we can get pointed at that now. Go check out what's in there. What do we have over here? The bright, gorgeous moon. And behind it, a door, which we can unlock with our keys. Okay. Now from here... Alright, we got some QR codes to look at and a gate that we can't quite open yet. What does this say? Epitaph, child program version 10.6.1008F, codename One with Faith, terminated here. Logic. Worship the designer for number days, then allowed the serpent into its heart. Final memory dump. I asked the designer for forgiveness that I might join him in the eternal memory. So yeah, she gave up, she stopped trying, she just lapsed herself into the convenient lie she'd constructed of faith. And then, it's interesting, allowed the serpent into its heart. And there's logic, there's almost like an explanation, almost like a report, I guess from Elohim, as the system administrator, about why he terminated the child program. Progeny programs were Samsara and Sheep. Super interesting. So, I kind of wish we'd found something like this earlier, because knowing the order in which these creatures were created, or knowing the relationship between them, would be very interesting. But Sheep and Samsara are progeny of One with Faith, who failed here. Samsara actually failed earlier on, but Sheep is still going. Yeah, Sheep replies here, I guess someone met their end here. Seems we're all connected. Somehow, like distant family relations? Different versions, different series? What are we? And the Greek says, who cares? Just be grateful we don't have to read anything more about our great designer. He's being all sarcastic. He's like, good, I'm glad she died. And we don't have to listen to her prattle anymore. A little cold-hearted, but such as digital life, I suppose. Now, we have... If we remove this, we can't get through. So we must need to find another jammer somewhere. Maybe over on the other sides. So for right now, we can do a couple of things. We can get through that, but I don't think I want to with this jammer. I think I want to do it with this jammer. Let's see if I bring it over here. Oh, there's a second one. Oh, there's two. Hold on. Well, that changes things then. That means we can get that one and the other one. And then we can get through past the key door and into the area with the patrollers. So we can take this with us. And we can get in here now. I'm not sure if we can sneak past them or not. I don't think so. I think we'd be too close, right? Yeah, we'd definitely be too close. So that's not what we're looking to do, unless we can jam them from somewhere else. Let's hold off on that. So we can get in here. What's in here? So okay, if we could get in here with a couple of jammers, we could jam one of them, and that would be sufficient. That'd be sufficient to get past. But I don't know if we can do it. Yeah, I don't know if we can do it with just like we can't get there at the moment. All right, let me bring these over here and see what I can do from this position. Should be some different stuff we can do. So like we could get there. Let me see. This is a complex one. This is definitely interesting. This one's more challenging. I don't think that does anything for us because we can't get beyond it. Like we can't get to the key door from here. So having that jam there is not really helpful. We can't bring it through, so we can only jam things from up here. None of those are useful. The only other one we could do is this one. Unless, can I see anything else from like way over at the side? No. I guess I could do something from here, maybe? But so at the moment, those guys rotate. So we could, I guess what we could do is set up a divergence so that they're not operating in parallel, and then we could get past them, right? So if we set that up like that, okay, now we can get past them. Okay, let me go back and change this. Let's see what getting past them gets us. So we want that one, and we want, can I see it from here? Is that the right one? No, I think that's the wrong one. I think we gotta bring it over here. Okay, so now we can get past the patrollers with our spare jammer. Because we come through the key door, we set this up, they're on divergent paths, so we can go to the left here to get past him. And then swap over to the right here to get past him. And then we have the same problem with these guys. Curious. So I think we can jam one of them from up there. Yeah, that's what we can do. That's how we do it. Oops. Okay, hold on. I think we leave that there for now. Make our way back. We temporarily grab this one and use it to hopefully... Yeah, here we go. Alright, so we're gonna freeze one of you for a bit. But then we're gonna be stuck not able to get past that last gate unless there's another... Is there another way to do this? What is that gate? How do I get to that gate? No, that does nothing for me. Unless... No, these aren't... I can't get through there. Okay, I think we're still going to be stuck, but let me go put this back and let's get as far as we can and see what we find. We need one opening. Not that, but that, right? So if we come over here, I don't remember where I dropped the thing, but it should be somewhere around here. We can come through. Bypass them. You can also bypass these guys. But then we're in trouble because we don't have a way to get through here to the piece. Man. Okay, so we need to be in this area. So what's the only way we can get in here with 2 jammers? Is there a way we can get in here with 2 jammers? Seems like not, right? Because we need to... Yeah, the only way to get here is through this. And to get here... We need to go through this. And then, yeah. Okay, I'm a little stumped. Unless there's another jammer somewhere that I've missed. Is there another way to get to the key door? I don't think so. We only have the 1 jammer inside, so it's not like we can trap ourselves in. We can't remote activate those or move them or reposition them. There's gotta be something I'm missing here. Either another jammer or another way to use the jammers. So that one's opening this gate. That one's opening the second gate. We get through there, pass through the key door. The third jammer's opening the third gate, and then we need to get there. So how does that work? Oh, I get it. I get it. Hold on, I think I get it. I do get it. Okay. It depends on whether I can pull the jammer through the window. If I can pull the jammer through the window... Alright, let me see if this works. So we're going to temporarily reassign this to point there. Then, we come over here. We set this right at the window to unlock that. Then we go back. Repoint this at our initial path. And now, we can go through the third gate and hopefully retrieve our jammer at the same time. Let's see. Can we pull you through? No, I can't. Ah, I thought I had it. I was sure that was it. Damn. Why not? I feel like I should be able to do that. I can't pull it through. Man, that's frustrating. Is there... Huh. Is there some other way I can use that window? Oh, maybe... No. I feel like the window's the key. We need to be shooting something through it. I'm just not sure how or what yet. But we definitely need to get this thing back. I was sure that was going to be it. But I can't push it through the window. I can't, like, place it on the other side, can I? No, it won't let me push it through the window to drop it either. Yikes. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe... Is there some way to double back after I've come in? So we pass through there and there, then the door, then we go through there, all the way around here. Yeah, there's no way to, like, lock myself in somewhere and then come back for another thing. Like, if I could... Oh, maybe there is. Oh, of course there is. Okay, okay, now I get it. Now I get it. All right. So what are we doing? We need to... aim this here. Nope. Okay. We aim that there. Then we take our jammer through and unlock it from this side. And now we move this to aim the other way. So we no longer really need to open that, which means we can instead open this. And now we go through. And there we go. We've solved it. We just have to navigate the patrollers here. No! Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I was right there. Ah. Oh my god, I gotta do the whole thing again. Alright, get ready for some fast forward, you guys. Okay, take two. All right, there we go. The red L is ours. We've succeeded. And, wait, we have to make our way out the hard way? Or did something crack open here? Yes, this cracked open. All right, there we go. So, I'm going to take a break here. When we come back, we'll continue working on these puzzles here in Beta 2. Looking for additional clues and additional QR codes. I'm just going to check this real quick. Yeah, no reply. But that's going to be it for this time. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying this playthrough of the Talos Principle. This game is absolutely amazing. I can't believe I missed it. I'm super looking forward to the DLC, Road to Gehenna, and the sequel, Talos Principle 2. Can't imagine what they've done to improve on this, but just awesome stuff so far. We'll see you next time. Take care.